Yo, Raw and Uncut. If you've been out there since last night on social media, you've already seen. We're going to cut right to it. You've already seen what's going on with Diddy. It's not news anymore that he's been arrested. It's not news anymore what he's been arrested for. Okay? They're getting this motherfucker. I don't want to say motherfucker. They're getting this motherfucker. Sex trafficking, kidnapping, racketeering. Those are the three big charges along with all kinds of other shit. Okay? So here's the thing. You've heard what they've recovered. You know what they found. So if something happens to Diddy from here on out, you already know what the fuck happened. Because there's a lot more people involved here. Famous people. Let's get into this video and then we'll speak on what the fuck I want to speak on. But pay attention to everything. If you haven't seen it yet or seen certain parts, or you're here for the sake of the video, watch this and I'm going to give you my 2 cents. And I got some interesting information I think you're going to like. Let's get into this shit without further ado. Thank you for being here. Like, share, subscribe. Let's fucking go.
The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers.
So you up to date on that, right? Everything he did. This motherfucker's a demon. Karma's a motherfucker, ain't it? Karma is a motherfucker. Here's the thing. All the bad he wished on everybody. That's what nobody takes into account here. Diddy hated Pac, hated Suge, said fuck Big when he seen that Big was doing stuff behind his back, as in writing for the Junior Mafia and writing for Lil' Kim, but not letting Diddy know so Diddy couldn't get more off of his publishing. Diddy wanting to actually leave. Diddy was the one, Biggie wanted to leave Diddy. Biggie wanted to leave Bad Boy. That was real. When people were putting that shit out there about Pac, yeah, but it wasn't to that point where Suge wanted to harm him. So I wonder where that narrative came from. But anyways, let's get more into this because there's something at the end that I want to touch on, and we're going to go from there because it's really fucking big. They're on to these motherfuckers, and they're on to all of them, and they're letting them know, they're warning them. But remember, this is part of the circus. This is all tied in together. Everything, Trump, the fucking Ukraine, the motherfucking assassinate, Kamala Harris, everything going on. Everything is all tied in together. Let's keep going.
The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet. And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced.
Don't forget, he's a product of Clive Davis. Clive Davis taught him all this. Now, here's the interesting thing, and there's more shit that I want to touch on this. Where's Jay-Z at? Where's Snoop Dogg at? Where's Dr. Dre at? Right? 50 even. Because at some point, they all had serious dealings with Diddy. Especially Snoop, especially Jay-Z, especially Dre. Where are they at in all this? You know goddamn well they used to hang together. You're going to tell me that he was the only one involved in that? Anyways, I know that's another can of worms. Let's keep going on this shit. Yo, Raw and Uncut, thank you for being here. Let's watch a little bit more of this video, then I'm going to tell you what the fuck I'm really talking about.
And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether. Here are some of the items that we recovered during the searches. As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity, and it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well, we recovered 3 AR-15s. This is a close-up shot of one of the AR-15s, and you can see right here, the serial number has been thoroughly defaced. Another picture of more ammunition and parts of 2 AR-15s right there. Now, I want to be clear about 2 things. First, this office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that.
Did you hear when he said that that office is basically hell-bent on getting everybody involved with that or shit like that, and they didn't care how powerful you were, and they didn't care how much money you had, and how famous you were? Who's he warning? They got other motherfuckers on that freak-off video. They got other famous people, men. Take a look around. Who's hiding right now? Who's not saying much? Remember when Cat Williams said earlier in the year, this is going to be the year of the truth? Because they know what's coming. And what's coming is not a reset. It's not a civil war. It's something bigger than any fucking one human being on this fucking plane. And they all know it's coming. We're in the last days, folks, and I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm just trying to tell you, prepare your mind, your body, and your soul for what's coming in the near future. They all know this. It's all in together. The election, all this shit with Diddy, all this other shit going on wrapped around it, the sports, the basketball players, the Caitlin Clark, the fucking Floyd, all this shit for years and years is all part of the plan. It's all part of the circus, the distraction. That's why I've always said, like George Carlin told me when I was a youngster, it's a fucking circus, folks, and we got a front row seat to it. Don't forget that. There's something major on the horizon. And I'm not talking about the arrest of Jay-Z or any of these other guys. That may happen, but it's gonna get crazier and crazier. Watch what you see that them putting out on the motherfucking mainstream media. Watch what they keep putting out to us now. Watch what they start showing us that they wouldn't show us before. We're getting stuff that we ain't seen before. So here's my question to you guys before I get up out of here. Isn't karma a bitch? Isn't karma a bitch? It couldn't happen to a nicer guy. This guy's responsible for the murder of Tupac, for the murder of Biggie, whether you want to admit it or not. And you say, oh, he had nothing to do. He knew Biggie was going to get smoked. He knew. He knew they were going to fucking get ran up on. He didn't care. He still drugged fucking Biggie out there to the West Coast when he did not want to be there. He was supposed to be overseas in Europe. We all know this story. We all know the story. It's there. Don't let the mainstream media tell you. Dig for yourself. So with this, the ghost of Tupac Shakur, the ghost of Biggie Smalls, the ghost of Craig Mack, and many, many others that have lost their lives behind the energy of that demonic son of a bitch, Sean Puff Daddy Diddy Combs, the motherfucking diddler, as they say. Wherever Pac and Biggie are, I know they got to be toasting it, blowing a fat one. because this motherfucker's getting what the fuck he has coming. The chickens have a come to roost, motherfucker. What's good for the goose is great for the gander. And Diddy, you thought you could get away with this shit? It's the tip of the iceberg, though. This is the tip of the fucking iceberg. What if there's bodies that they trace back to those ARs? Somehow, same way, if they find out that there was some crimes committed between some people he knew and there was AR-15s that were used in the crime, this is a can of worms. But you got to understand, why did he believe he was this powerful? Why did Diddy believe he was untouchable? Because of what he did for the recording industry. When he helped get rid of Tupac, he helped get rid of Suge, he helped get rid of Biggie, he helped fucking put his mark on the music business. And who came to rise after the deaths of Eazy-E, Tupac, and Biggie? Who came out on top out of all that? You already know the answer to that. I ain't gotta say it. Look around, look around. I can think of 4 motherfuckers. One of them told Diddy a while back when he acquired Death Row Records, I learned from the best. I learned from the best, Unc. I learned. You taught me it's chess, not checkers, Unc. And the look on Snoop's face there gloating, and the look back that Diddy gave him was the same thing. It was like, oh, my best students. You're one of my best students. Like, he was talking about all this shit, not just in the music business. So, folks, it's more than meets the eye here. Dig deeper. Look deeper. All your idols, they're all puppets. All your idols have been involved in this. All your idols have to... Because what's coming, you can't know, and I can't know. Okay? Only they can know. But if you open up your fucking eyes, you will see what the fuck is really cracking off. Diddy, you're getting what the fuck you got coming. Rest in peace. Eazy-E, rest in peace. Tupac Shakur, rest in peace. Biggie Smalls, and to all the others that have passed away, but especially those that have lost their lives behind the fucking antics of this son of a bitch right here. Behind the hatred, behind the jealousy, behind all that. Raw and Uncut, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Drop your comments down in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about it. And oh yeah, I have some interesting comments coming up on another video that you don't want to miss. See what I'm saying? Because I met Suge Knight a couple of times when I signed to the Row back in 2003. Some of the things that he just said out there were interesting. It wasn't a lot that I heard, but it was just interesting looking back. Like we always do about this time. We out.